Alright, do we want to do a recap of the previous session?
Yeah, sure. So, what happened was, I made a joke about a wake being a shindig, and it was hilarious, and nobody laughed. But then, we moved on to shopping, where we bought lots of potions, and I can run through it blow by blow, because I just listened to it. But it's pretty epic, and it took a while.
Please do not. Do not.
There we met the alchemist's brother, who was a hilarious character and distracted us long time. We also met Farron, a helpful, short, fat human, not a halfling, who did sell us some stuff. We gave him a 10 gold bonus. What a nice guy. We got, a potion of invisibility.
Got enlargement.
An enlargement potion. We got a bunch of other potions.
Various healings.
9 healing potions.
Yep.
And eventually we moved on. We also, did some stuff with our hirelings and blah, 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 whatever. Anyway, we went out of town. We looked at the gear, checked out if it was magical, that we buried outside of town. Sorry? So, like, the rod.
The rod was magical, I believe.
Exactly,
the rod. Magic missile, something.
Maybe. I said that. That wasn't what Grail said. Grail actually said it had, like, different power settings. We don't know what it does, but it has different power settings.
Okay.
That was all the information we got. I said it did magic.
I think I was making a joke about it being a
vibrator. Indeed. Completely accurate. It was a vibrator joke. Anyway, we moved on. We came to the shifty town, and by shifty I mean they just didn't want to talk to us because they didn't like travelers. We spoke at the inn. They were like, track down our lord. She went missing at the edge of
Oh, that's right.
There's a castle across the river, wasn't it?
It's like on the edge of the valley. So there's where is the map?
Let me check my
Can we
notes.
see the map?
Yeah, I'm just pulling it up right now, actually.
Let me check my notes.
Yeah, so over from Don Duran. Is Kel's Rise. She supposedly went missing at Kel's Rise. We were all like, we'll check it out. But then we ran into the priest from
Lacrima Keep.
Father. Lacrima Keep, yep. And he was like, actually, she had like a family curse that was like calling her to the Laughing Woods. And she actually went there with like her best friend from childhood, and they also took with them like some maid.
A servant girl, Ellie.
Yeah.
Also, this lady's called Lady Filius, and a driver called Duras, and what? Oh, that's
that's the abbot.
Hey, abbot, and they were apparently drawn towards the Laughing Woods.
Yeah, that's right.
Something about an old curse.
Yep, family curse. Yeah, so he's like, we should bring her back. Maybe he can contain the evil. That's what he was kind of hoping. Yeah. The driver grew up with her. They grew up together at Kel's Rise. There's a new captain called Garmel out there for some reason. I'm not sure how that's relevant, but
it may be our old friend Sergeant Gamlin, who got totally not killed and totally not reassigned elsewhere to the backwaters.
That's why it's relevant. And most importantly, we got Mr. Warris, who is in charge of the Phineas house. Get the hound and handler Amron to search for her, and the hound's called Rasputin. Because, of course, Rasputin. Yeah, so that's basically where we left off. We were gonna go this way. Also, we beat up our hirelings to get them into shape.
Yep, and
I mean, what's this "we" business?
Sorry,
the people who have hirelings.
Yeah. I think it was a thinly veiled, like...
Thinly veiled hazing?
Training was the thinly veiled excuse for beating their retainers, wasn't it?
Yes.
Well, see, if you guys remembered quite a while ago, when we actually got taken in for murder, these youths threw food at us, and I said I put them in my folder because I want to hire them as cannon fodder at some time. So I'm I'm thoroughly still implying that the person that I hired as my minion is one of those youths that made my shit list. So beating him makes 110% in my opinion. He is in the book for throwing food at us.
Mind you, our dwarven mercenary friend, he seems very, very competent.
Yes, too competent. Blessed.
He could be an actual adventurer if so motivated.
Is obviously the witch. Alright. So yeah, that's where we left off.
That's a
Yeah, right?
That's a pretty good recap. You can have 50 XP. Alright. So you find yourselves in Don Duran. And we don't have Ro here to make Duran jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God.
Very sad.
So who is going to play Jaquan? I did tell Rowan that it's probably not a bad idea to let Al control him, and this time I'll give him a pool of lava that he can walk Jaquan into.
That sounds like an excellent thing. Now he's got magic armor with flame immunity, right?
And boots of levitation on lava.
Yep.
So you should be able to control Jaquan now. If you can just confirm that you have access to his character sheet.
Okay. Certainly do.
Cool. Alright, so again, Don Duran is a small village, approximately 150 to 200 people. Has only a handful of soldiers, and yes, they are very suspicious of outsiders. The homestead of Lady Filius was to the north, on its way to Lacrima Keep, and I believe that you had just gone there and you'd had a chat to the manager of the property, a Mr. Warris. The driver was Mr. Duras. You've got the dog, Rasputin, and the dog's handler, Amrian, who is a young, fairly fit but slim gentleman. You were going to head on out. Did you want to do anything else in Don Duran before you do so, or have you changed your mind and decided you're going to, murder everyone and set yourself up as,
The Lords of Don Duran.
the Lords of Don Duran?
Honestly, this place doesn't seem like it's worthwhile taking that big of a risk.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm pretty much done with these people.
Yeah. These
Might be missed.
Yeah, no, we're going to the Laughing Wood. We've already got the guy with the hound. No going back now.
Indeed.
You've got Rasputin, you go on. He was making a mockery of us, though. He was all like, oh, you don't even have horses? Ugh. Peasant scum.
I mean, we are pretty much peasant scum. Let's not lie to ourselves here.
We have +1 gear, come on.
Oh, wow, so fancy.
Don't do yourselves a disservice. You're not peasants.
We're rich scum. We're the scum that floats to the top.
Right.
The scum that beat around the poorest and less well-off scum.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, so heading over this... Oh, we'll just get an arrow thing.
Should we change our name to Flotsam? The party name?
Mm-hmm.
I've heard far worse names.
We don't have a party name. We should probably actually make something up at some point.
Yeah,
Now,
the other guy seems a bit lame.
Yeah, because we're tracking, I guess we'll just follow where the dog says to go. So if we follow the road and then
Dog
up...
can't talk.
Yeah,
but dogs don't need to talk for us to follow them.
Okay, so you were going to head down the road towards Kells Rise, and you were going to be, I believe, travelling on the north side. That was the plan of the road, to see where they had exited, because when Lady Filius and Duras left Don Duran, they were heading on the road towards Kells Rise. So it was going to be prudent to travel in that direction so you would find where they left the road. Is that still going to be the plan?
Yeah,
Makes sense to me.
Absolutely.
Alright, so let me just move my mice around. About here is where it goes off. So it's about just maybe a day's travel. We'll get you there before it'll be heading off in a slightly northeasterly direction. The road of Dondoran to Kel's Rise is empty. There is nary a soul upon it.
Oh well, that's unusual. At least compared to the other places we've been.
Makes sense to a degree though, since Kel's Rise is not actually a settlement per se. It's more along the lines of a small little military camp.
Okay.
Wouldn't you expect there to be constant supplies heading out to a military camp?
Not every single day, and there would be no travellers. They would go in like maybe once a week.
A little caravan of food.
Something like that, yep. The day that you were travelling, other than seeing nobody, the weather is fairly standard. You don't really... There's nothing untoward. I've got your watches somewhere. Are you going to keep your normal watches? I've got to find the right watches.
We probably haven't done a watch since we've lost some people, so we probably need to rearrange that now.
Plus, you've also got...
We also have a merc.
Yep.
And hirelings, although hirelings can just stand watch, I think, with their...
With a merc? Yeah.
With their senpai.
Oh, that also works.
Alright, so how do you want to do it? Do you want to do anything in particular? Or do you just want me to put people down?
Isn't that the GM's job, putting people down?
I'll take first watch
Like the dogs
with
they
my
are.
retainer. How many people do we have in total? We've got 8 now. Is that right?
Yes.
So we can do 2 per watch. Oh, we could actually do 2 per watch and not make the spellcasters do any.
That sounds like an awesome idea to me.
I know!
Yeah, whatever.
Is it actually a beneficial reason to not having a full rest, or do you get something that we don't, or
Spells.
We have to have our rest is the only reason.
how long is defined as a rest?
8 hours?
Okay, so basically the entire night.
Yeah. So,
First watch or last watch we could do, but we've got to have 8 hours of rest.
I'll take
Yeah.
a middle watch.
Yeah, I was going to say. Well, then I mean, Lenz usually takes them in watch anyway because elf.
Yep.
Not really that fussed about.
So
Yeah.
are you going to have Minerva and Kukulane as first watch?
yeah, that makes sense.
Minerva plus Kukulane. Okay, so are you having the 4 watches in? Or are you having 5? Or are you having 28?
28 watches every half an hour we swap. Yeah,
Just a rolling watch.
I think 4 should be pretty good
4's
because it
fine.
means that we can have the people on the spellcast at the start and the end, and it means
Sure.
you get a nice significant
Alright,
watch in between.
so Minerva and Kukulane are first. Who is going to be second?
I'll take second watch with someone.
Alright.
Well, you can have Kroobs if you want, or you can have the merc.
Do you want the Merc?
Oh, I'll take the merc,
Thady?
Okay.
and then what Hypatia and Kruber for third watch.
Yep.
Sure.
Actually,
I
what does
guess.
Hypatia want to do the watch with her?
Oh yeah, she should just do it with her minion,
With
Yeah.
Errol?
and that way FlameMaze can have Kroobs with.
Yeah, Sean and Kruber.
So
Yeah.
Last one.
Shaquan plus Sean.
That makes
the
sense.
Final watch.
Mhm.
Cool. All right. So let me do something a little bit crazy here.
Oh, damn. Rolling dice in a role-playing game.
That bodes badly for us.
I never seen that before.
That's why I said crazy. He's just like, oh man, look out. trying something whole new direction. Right. On the watch of Lenza plus Thadir. You are.
Of course, it's me.
Of course
It's always me.
Well, yeah, actually, it generally is. You are correct. Did you have a cold or a warm camp?
We're not. I think we're not too.
Well,
too
yeah,
late at the moment, so we probably would have had a fire or everything.
I imagine it would be a
area
warm
known
camp.
to be
Yeah.
like that dangerous, so we probably wouldn't have been too fussed.
Yeah, that's cool. Makes it even more likely. That's cool. So where was I? This guy. All right. down the road.
That's the joke.
Yep.
Down the road, you hear the clip clop of horses' hooves. You have just camped off to the side, probably in the slightly softer grass. It is reasonably dark. Very unusual you get any travellers, especially travellers by horse, on the road at night time, and yet you can
And
hear
yet, this
it.
is something.
You can hear
Well,
it.
at least
well
something's
before.
coming towards us.
Yeah, it seems to be just a steady clip clop as well. It's just moving at a walk.
I'll grab. I'll reach for my bow. So I'm not holding it up, but I'll have it close to actually grab in case of something untoward happening.
Okay. After half a minute or so, not very long, of hearing this sound, you will see maybe 200 yards off. The sound travelled because it's quite a still night. You'll see a hooded lantern get unshielded, and the light will be cast towards the ground. It's obviously someone on who's leading a horse, and you can't see because the light is in front of them, and it's a hooded lantern. You can't see who it is, but you can see that there seems to be some shape, obviously at least a horse as well, and again is looking at the ground. They are travelling east on the road.
So the opposite direction to the same direction of us.
Same direction that you have been travelling.
Interesting. So, because I have this, because I have Starsight, I can. Is the light still just blinding, or can I see any other details apart from that?
You can see okay. It's just still a bit more awkward. You don't
fair enough.
You don't see through the shadows that well, but you see under starlight reasonably well. There are stars out, but because the light is in front of the figure, it is still cast in shadow.
Cool. No worries then. I guess I don't want to call out because I don't want to wake people up for nothing, but
the embers of your fire are still casting a bit of a glow. It's quite likely that this figure, unless he's a complete moron, probably knows that there is a camp nearby.
Yep. I guess we'll just wait. If they approach, I'll say hello once he gets within a not shouting distance, and until then, we'll just All
right. The lantern, after a short period of time, will be shuttered. Thedar is, grumbling under his breath, and he's got his axe in his hand, and
we're ready to go just in case.
Yep. You reckon we should wake the others up? I don't like this. Travellers at night. It's not good.
It seems to be only. It's like there's only one figure. Like there's not like a big group or anything.
It does seem to be one. As best.
Oh
you
yeah,
can tell.
cool. I'll basically say to him, it doesn't. It's only one person, and it doesn't. And I don't want to interrupt them for no reason. They don't seem to be particularly aggressive or scary. There's someone on a horse.
Yep.
Again, sure, it's late and dark, but there's plenty of reasonable excuses to be out here like this.
After the lantern is shut off and your eyes can adjust better, you'll see this guy is leading the horse. He is familiar.
Oh, yes, Fjord. Is that how you pronounce it?
Yes.
Excellent. I will. If he does come closer, I'll greet him.
And he is coming closer. He seems to almost be either oblivious or ignoring the camp to start with. And when you go forward to greet him, he will be a little bit startled. Oh, hello. He'll unshutter the lantern. He does have his hand on the pommel of his sword, but he'll unshutter his lantern and he'll have a look. Mrs. Elf, how are you? Hang on. I know you. I think.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Don't I?
Yes,
Ah, good.
we have travelled together before.
Ah,
Was actually just out of character. We were looking for this guy's partner, weren't we?
yes.
Was that this one? Yeah.
Yes.
What was the name of? Did I remember the name?
I don't know if I remember his partner's name, to tell you the truth, so call him Bob.
Yes.
I may have had that on a another index card, which I don't know where it is at the moment.
Yeah. Not a big deal.
No.
So I'll say, what brings you out here at this time of night?
Oh, tracking something. What about yourselves? Are you still with the group? You'll kind of look around. Oh,
Indeed, I'll gesture behind me and say, yeah, we're just, taking watch at the moment. We're on our way to Kel's Rise.
yeah.
Heard that they always need a bit of help there, and we've been tasked with a job,
I've been
as
travelling.
we want to do.
I've been travelling for all day and most of actually since breakfast. Do you mind if I join you?
No, not at all. Please. I'll also introduce what's his name?
Thadar?
Thadar. I'll say this is Thadar, a new addition to our group, and I'll say Thadar. This is Fjord, an old traveling companion. We ran with a couple of weeks ago,
Probably a month or two.
probably a month or two now. Yeah.
When you're up around Silvermont. Well met, Master Dwarf. Tell you what, my legs are killing me. I'd be riding my horse, but I think my horse is about to collapse. Stupid horse. Don't even know why I've got it. I spend more time leading it than riding it.
Well, I guess it depends on where you're going. If you follow the roads, it's usually pretty easy. But yes, people in our line of work tend to not go by the beaten path.
Indeed. I notice your fellows are resting. I will just sit down, if I may, and rest my weary legs and not wake your associates.
Oh no, absolutely. Please.
I might have something to eat, actually. Just bear with me. And he'll get back up, rummage through his saddlebags, and get out a loaf of bread and just start, picking at it.
On that note, if you haven't scratched off a ration thing for today, do so.
Yep, thank you. Yes, it's been a hard day's travel for me. Hard day. What are you doing here? Going to Kel's Rise, you say? Or
Indeed.
I hear there's work there all the time. Probably not a bad bit of coin to be had. Me? No.
Well, defending one of the passages out of the valley, yes, it seems that it's a popular place for attacks and the degenerates to focus on.
Yes, never liked the degenerates. Hate the degenerates. Bloody degenerate things. But, I couldn't be so lucky to have that. Got tasked with finding something or someone. I don't know what it is rightly. But, some creature supposedly that walks like a man during the day, but a beast at night supposedly is on this road.
I have not heard of such things. At least not in the at least not from Don Duran from the people we spoke there.
No.
Is it a?
No. I came from Sumberton,
And you heard about there, I assume, then?
I had been discussing it with one of the masters of the Chicane Merchant Guild. And they asked me to come out here and see if I could find it.
Oh, lovely. I assume they've been attacked then on some time, occasionally when they've come past here then.
No one apparently has been attacked by this creature. I don't know why this Chicane master wants to at least know what's going on with this creature, but they want me to, if I can, capture it. They don't want it dead, but it hasn't hurt anybody. But there's been rumours, so here I am.
Oh, unusual. It's not often you hear something like that.
Look,
Usually all the news nowadays is, this thing or the other has attacked someone, killed someone, we got to stop that.
I believe it's made away with a few livestock and fowl, etc. But people have been left well alone. So at least that's what I've heard, and that's what I'm hoping. If it's dangerous, so I'm a bit concerned that I'm out here by myself, to tell you the truth. But no, if it's just this thing, I'm out here to see if I can find. To tell you the truth, I don't rightly believe it. I mean, look, we live in a crazy ass world, no doubt, and the gods have blighted it by all stretch of the imagination. But as you said, something like this that walks as a man and a beast, I would be expecting there'd be more than just rumour. There'd be bodies. So we'll see what we can find.
Indeed.
He'll notice then that that there is a dog within the camp, and he will smile, get back up, head over to his horse, get out some strips of leathery meat and throw them towards him.
Is the dog awake?
It is now.
Yeah, fair.
No. This all. On the upside, I do have one thing to say about that as well, which is, happily the dog is Rasputin. No.
I don't. He doesn't seem like the type to poison anything.
Let's see.
It's okay because of this.
Because of this. What is this?
Are you guys always paranoid, or is it just?
Well, perhaps Aaron is alluding to the fact that his partner disappeared in strange circumstances from this kid. Maybe. I don't know. Hopefully this is really circumstantial and he's actually an okay guy, but we'll find out, I guess.
Look, to be fair, but then in the other time we spent with him, he didn't give us any impression that he was anything but what he said he was.
Yeah, fair enough.
I'm not here. I'm not going to just start, killing random people. That's how we got into a fucking mess last time. Remember?
I don't want to kill him. I just don't want to take candy from strangers. That's right.
What do you mean you don't want to start killing strangers?
Continue untargeted killing of strangers?
You want to change your turn a new leaf? Yeah, turn a new leaf and not murder hobo everyone.
Hey, all they have to do is not attack me, and then they don't get murdered.
Exactly.
It's real simple. Don't attack me. Don't attack anybody I'm traveling with. You don't get murdered. Unfortunately, sometimes the people that I'm with attack people.
And then
So
it just spirals.
Does looking at you with a funny look constitute as attacking?
No. Has to be physical harm. In fact, my character's always taken the first hit.
Anyway,
yeah. So I won't stop that happening because I don't see any reason to not let him give a dog food.
yeah, Rasputin, being an old dog, slowly comes to the sense that there is, something that smells good right within reach of him, and he tries to eat it without getting up, so he kind of just tries to reach his head out and stretch his neck, and then he realizes it's just a little bit too far, and he almost sighs before he has to kind of just get up a little bit and move over, and then he'll start chewing on this leathery meat, and Fiard will just smile. I love dogs. I think
They are definitely one. So very special creatures. They seem to not be. I guess I'll say they just form special bonds with humans and other like races. It seems.
Yeah, indeed. Anyway, I'm going to have a sleep now, if that's okay. But
No worries.
I will, after I'll just close my eyes for a little bit. When you wake up the next watch, feel free to wake me up as well, and I'll help out. Anyway, good night. And he will lean back into his pack and close his eyes.
Cool.
Thadar will look over at you, Lenza, and then look back at Fiard. That is entirely too random.
Can I just gesture vaguely at him to just move with me a bit away from the campfire, so just in case he's still up.
Absolutely. Yep.
So we won't go too far. Like we'll still be with like 10 feet or whatever. Not 10 feet, but close enough that we can still see everybody, but far away enough that
you're just becoming a little bit discreet.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sure.
I'll tell what's his name, Theodore, about our previous encounter with him, where it's because he wasn't overly hostile, but he wasn't all there, from what I recall. That was a bit of a weird adventure we went on then.
He was eating bacon smeared with bacon fat, and he licked his fingers and offered you to lick his fingers or something along those lines.
Yeah. I'll say I've got no idea why he didn't stop for the night when night happened, because as we all know, traveling at night is just a really good way to get yourself injured or hurt. He seems, from our past encounters, he seems pretty harmless. If he does try to cause any trouble, I think even just people on watch could deal with him. But yes, it is a bit odd.
Well, if his story is true, that this thing walks like a beast at night, that's probably why he didn't camp once night fell.
True, he did want to actually try and find it, although he seemed quite happy just to rest with us.
But odd.
When we wake up the next watch, we'll let them know and tell them to keep an eye just in case. I suggest we don't wake him up along with the next watch.
Fine. And
Cool.
The rest of your watch will pass without event. You realise that Fiard failed to tether his horse, and it's slowly starting to, wander off eating some grass, and then it will decide it's, going to have a bit of a nap, and it's probably moved about 50 yards away from...
As long as it doesn't go away, I'm sure we probably wouldn't let it just run away. But if it's not going too far, not that fast.
Yep, it doesn't seem to, at least for the moment. And
Cool.
the next watch...
settle off, whatever.
Yep, the next watch is Hypatia and Aaron. And Hypatia, you have a visitor in your camp. You'll notice almost straight away when...
Oh, really? Oh, that's a surprise. When did he turn up?
Just during our watch, it was a little strange. Apparently, he's looking for some kind of beast person that turns into a beast at night that I've said to be along this path. But
Really?
yeah,
That's interesting, considering that they're talking about the lady's bloodline may be cursed, and well, I hear that some walks by man, beast at night. That's the kind of thing that could be a curse, I guess.
don't know. I'm not sure whether it's connected at all, but from our previous encounter with him, he seems harmless enough. So
Yeah.
let him sleep, I guess. Let us know if he tries to do anything stupid.
Yeah, we'll do. He looks like he need if he's been traveling by himself, I guess he could use some rest.
Mm-hmm.
And your watch will also pass without event, Hypatia and Aaron, leaving Jaquan and Sean to do the final watch. Fiard does not stir much. towards the end of your watch, he will, start to snore a little bit, but it's pretty soft, pretty gentle, and
Yeah. On the handover, we'll let the others, let Jaquan and stuff know about the situation.
sure.
Has the horse wandered off any further?
The horse has wandered off a considerable way now. It's probably about 200 yards or so away.
All right, Jaquan might kind of see if he can gently lead him back to camp.
Easy enough.
Tether him.
Cool. Alright. About midway through the watch of Jaquan and Sean, Fiard will sit bolt upright. And he'll look around to the camp. Oh, it's early. Hello.
Hello, I'm Sean.
I have not met you before. I am Fiard. How are you?
Yeah, good. Good to see. Good to see you up. We thought you'd let you rest a bit. You seem quite weary.
Thank you. Travelled all the way from Krokar last week and back and forth a couple times the week before up to Hemulak. Been doing a lot of travelling lately. Those mercenaries, that are near Summerton. People are afraid on the roads now, so they get me to courier stuff for them. Anyway, I better go see if I can find this thingamy-bob. My horse didn't wander off. That was lucky. And he'll go over and he'll start setting the pack onto his horse.
Yeah, we thought of that made sure he didn't wander off, and we're not sure how we know how horses could be a bit of a bother sometimes.
Oh, I appreciate it. He's still normally pretty good, but he doesn't wander too far away generally. But I do have to sometimes spend half an hour trying to get him back. Anyway, he will start digging through one of his satchels, and he will be pumped satisfied after a couple minutes, and then throw something towards you on the ground. That's for the hospitality last night, and I've got a couple hours before sunrise, so I'll make the best of it. Good luck with whatever you're doing, and I will hopefully see you again sometime. Farewell. And
Alright, good luck, Fiard.
No.
So, where are you headed? Are you headed towards Donturan? Just, in case we do come across this strange beast, maybe we could try and let you know.
just came through Donduran. I'm heading just around the road around here. I'm not sure where it is. I'm just trying to find some indication as to if it is here and where it might have gone. The master of the Chicane Merchant Guild, who asked me to come out here, who provisioned me to come and find this beast, said that the residents of Donduran had mentioned the fact that they had seen this creature. Over the last couple months, there had been numerous sightings. So, here I am.
Oh, really?
Yep. I don't know if it's true. I don't even know where I'm going to go. The people in Donduran were, less than helpful, and the information that they gave me was pretty poor at best. So I'm just trying to see if there's any indication. From what I do understand, though, it's somewhere out here between Donduran and Kells Rise. People who travel the road sometimes say they see it at night time, but it's probably just a cat or a wolf. I don't know. Just rumours, innuendo, myths, legends, whatever. But I'm being paid regardless, so.
All right, take care.
Dude, good travels.
And he will
Look
wander
after
off.
you. I'm going to have a look at what he threw on the ground.
It is some cheesecloth, which has been tightly wrapped around some strips of dried meat.
Is that the same meat that he threw to Rasputin?
It does not look to be the same meat. This looks to be much nicer and seems to be salted and spiced. It has a fairly fragrant aroma to it. Would probably
Why
be,
did he throw it on the ground?
because it's wrapped in the cheesecloth, and it's
Dramatic. Dramatic reward sequence.
it's it's wrapped in the cheesecloth. That's pretty okay. So there you go.
Okay.
Unusual encounter, but sure.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
He's
I
out
guess-
here. We could have joined up with him, but we don't want to.
It's,
Well, considering there's a chance that we may be looking for the same person.
Well, he sort of implied that it's been out here for a while, though. And she hasn't been missing for the
She's
same...
been missing, according to my notes, yeah, sure, a couple of days ago. But,
Yeah.
yeah. That
I
doesn't
mean,
mean
maybe it's her family that are doing it, the cursed ones. Who knows? Whatever.
Yeah.
We'll find out. Let's keep tracking.
so what he threw down was enough for rations for one day for the group.
Cool.
That's nice of him.
The
I guess we'll eat that tomorrow wherever we.
yeah, it's just almost like a form of a meat tack. So you could just kind of just chew it as you go, almost.
Basically built on, I guess.
Yeah. Alright. So, as I mentioned, you believe that you found where Lady Phileas left the road. And this is roughly where you camped, and she started heading northeast. You do find that there are tracks of a caravan or a wagon, something that's got a number of wheels, large and heavy, that have driven ruts into the ground where it has left the road. And
Just
you can
before we go on there.
Yep.
How well does everyone know that guy?
That one session.
So not
It
very
well,
well.
was longer than a session.
Yeah, well, it was over a couple of sessions, so I think it was originally looking for like a itinerant kid, and his partner had gone missing, and we found his partner near not like a big stone formation, which was not actually an obelisk, and he was zombified. So that could have been just bad luck on that guy's part, or it could have been something more serious. But that's highly circumstantial. We're not really sure. He could be just an odd guy.
Okay, so I'm going to when I learn my spells in the morning after we've rested, Grail.
You're
At
gonna learn
sunrise?
purify food and drink.
I am. Not that I'm untrusting or anything.
Not that you're paranoid, you just,
But yes,
like, you're not saying it was aliens, but
He did throw it on the ground.
it was wrapped in cheesecloth. It was more than well protected, and you just put it on. So you just threw it near your fire on the ground, so you can have it, make use of it as you want. It was
Either way.
Look, it is weird that he did throw it on the ground, not just like hand it to someone, but he is a weird guy. So
yes.
let's not hold that against him.
He has a low
Well-
charisma.
I'll be a weird guy and purify it.
Cool. I'll see how Jaquan or Hypatia will see how Rasputin
What you need to
is
do,
today.
what you need to do though, is you clearly have to have a control. So you take a little bit of the food and set it aside as the control,
yes.
and you don't purify that. Then Jaquan eats that. Makes total sense.
It does.
That way you can see whether or not he was, malicious.
So Jaquan, does it taste, do you taste almonds or peaches on this thing?
Exactly. Because if you eat it, if you purify it, eat it, and everyone's fine, you don't know. Was it bad or not? You have to
It doesn't.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter. But
you have to let someone die to know his intent.
or I could cast detect evil on him.
Well, but you didn't. So,
I know.
Jaquan gets the poison meat. Anyway, After you pray, meditate, study, eat, break your fast, break your camp.
Sprinkle holy juices over the food.
Yep, you can start heading off. It doesn't take you very long during that day before you find probably about somewhere here. So, well, I say not very long, it might take till a bit after lunch. You will come across, hopefully I set this map up correctly. I do not know if I did. I did it a while ago. Let's see.
Someone's had a bad day.
Alright. You have come across the scene before you. Off to the northwest is a small purple and gold painted Vado. A wagon lies tipped over on its side, goods, crates, etc. scattered around. There are a number of bodies. There are no animals, and you see no indication of anyone alive around here.
Oh, good.
Okay.
There's a body.
Are those bodies human?
Tell the Dragon Reborn.
That one is, I think.
Yeah, looks like it.
Not the other one.
I ask Amrian if he recognizes the wagons or the human corpses.
Hey, are these your friends?
Did you grow up with them as a kid?
I need to put a token on here for Amber. Hang on a second. I've just realised.
And the dog. Don't forget the dog.
Yep. I need one for the dog as well.
Those are some monsters.
Alright. You know what? Screw it. I'm not going to bother with Amrian. Amrian will be completely non-combative, and the dog's too useless and incontinent to be much use.
Yes.
Oh, Rasputin.
He will, but Amrian will say, yes, that's Lady Filius's caravan, the one that she left with Duras. I do not know the wagon, but
This one. Yep. Okay.
yes, the large lizard-like reptilian creatures, you have seen their like before.
We have.
Some of you have, not you.
Was that near those the valley?
No, it was at the ruins of Androshell.
Oh.
When you were within the ruins, remember you found all the dead goblins, and there was also a number of dead lizard creatures, but many more dead goblins than lizard creatures.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Yes, I remember now. And then with that beast thing. Yeah. Yep.
You've never found one of them alive though.
Hmm.
Well, I'm gonna get my bow
And
out.
I guess
it looks
it's not
appropriate.
changing. Yeah, no, likewise. There may be whatever attacked and killed these things. Maybe still around. But let's head closer and investigate a bit more properly.
Makes sense.
Yep.
Alright. You can start moving carefully around if you wish to do so.
I shall investigate this corpse.
Alright. Just wait there.
I'm gonna draw my weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Since that takes me a fair amount of time.
Yeah, just Kwan's gonna draw his weapons, and I'm gonna examine this body here.
Alright. So we'll just get you to there, and then we will leave it at that.
Mm-hmm.
I do not have the right token there. That's really annoying. Oh, well, this one will have to do.
This giant dragon-like creature jumps out of the ground.
No!
Alright.
Appears from nowhere after dispelling his illusionary invisibility spell.
Okay, just bear with me. It looks like I didn't finish setting up this map 100%, but that's all right. I will not take long to do so.
Shall continue to speculate on what monster you have planted to kill us all.
A wagon mimic, obviously.
Yep.
That would be
Diamond.
concerning.
Alright, so
Cool, but concerning.
these lizard-like creatures look a bit like... let's see if I save that.
They're going to come back from the dead and eat us all.
That'd be rude.
Okay, so they stand about 8 feet tall if they were to be standing upright. If I just go back to...
That's pretty big.
Yes, it is.
Ah,
Alright,
You know what they say, the bigger they are, the harder they hit you.
Can confirm.
alright. So, if I put that onto the token layer at this point. Okay, as you are investigating these, the creatures look like they have been slashed and stabbed and shot with small but thick darts, most likely from crossbows, it looks like, or some sort of crossbow-like weapon. They don't have much in the way of
Ooh.
what's that?
Oh no, I'm just looking at the lizard man.
Okay, cool. So I just need to find this guy's picture because the token isn't quite 100% right. And I've got way too many handouts and I start getting lost in these because I didn't sort this out. Where are we? That's him. Alright. Alright, let me put him on for you because you can see the token to the north.
Yeah. The undead goblin? Is that who you're talking about? Yeah, okay.
Alright. He will step out and he'll raise his hand. I am
Hey!
I am not here to fight you. I want peace.
Works for me.
yeah, okay.
He is, as I said, it's not the right token, so he's not an undead goblin, but he may as well be. He is wearing cobbled together armor that looks like it may have once belonged to a dwarf. He has a large hooked like cleaver weapon in his belt, but he hasn't reached for it, and he has a buckler like hooked onto his left hip. So he will step out. I have been looking for someone. Perhaps it is you.
What depends what we've done or haven't done.
We
What
have
are you
killed
looking
quite a
for
few
them
goblins.
Yes, my lesser kind kindred. They deserve to die. You are, I believe, familiar with two men, Braden and Sebastian. Yes?
Yep.
Are you their friends? Yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're acquainted.
Acquaintances, as I said, friends is a strong word. Acquaintances, yes.
Well, what's it to you?
Their mistress bade me to come and find you. You have taken too long, I believe, and she wishes to speak with you.
Interesting. So,
We are easily distracted.
perhaps. So, pray tell, who's the name of your mistress?
They know her as the Sibyl of the Lantern.
Excellent. That's how we know her as well.
Indeed.
The Thadir is grinding his teeth, and if this was a game of Toon, you would see steam shooting from his ears. He is gripping the haft of his axe quite tightly.
Yeah, no, I'm with Theda on this one.
Really?
Well, let's hear him out, but
All right.
Let's see
Well,
what
your
happens.
message has been heard. Thanks for stopping by. You should leave now. Maybe.
Before I go,
Yeah.
you are here because of these humans that were with this caravan.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty much, yeah.
She is not here anymore, but he, and he will point to the body, died poorly. The lizards got to him before I got to them. And he will, shudder slightly. The lizards are bolder and are coming further into the valley. You need to be wary. Tell your soldiers that soon they will have an army, the likes of which will overrun much of the towns on the eastern side of the valley.
So will they be coming through Kel's Rise?
Kel's Rise may already have fallen. I do not know, I do not care too much, but they could be an inconvenience to my mistress.
Oh, that would be such a terrible thing.
I mean, it would be for him. All right. Thanks for the information. That would be super helpful. Also,
Okay.
thanks for killing these lizards. I guess. Do you want their heads?
No, I do not.
Well, then they're ours. Thanks.
When you do come to seek your acquaintances and you wish to find information, the lady who is asking them to do tasks has something she would wish to speak to you about. So search for her in the Grove of the Icicles.
Okay. Grove of the Icicles. Got it.
Yep.
That wasn't where we were going to go originally, but excellent.
And he will turn and he will walk off, but he will stop and make sure you guys aren't going to, betray
Shoot him in the back.
Stuff him.
Yep.
Okay.
And then
Yeah, we're not going to.
Nope.
Unless the dwarf.
No offensive
starts
action.
moving fast.
We will restrain the dwarf if necessary.
No, just ignore the dwarf. He's not doing anything.
Yeah.
Fine.
He attacks him. Yeah. No. Not engage without a consent or something.
So how busted up is this wagon that's turned on its side? Are the wheels actually off it, or is it just being rolled over?
it looks like it looks. So there is a
Okay.
wheel that's come off it. It looks like anyone who's got a keen eye will be able to determine that it looks like it was probably being pulled by a horse that was attached via a yoke. The horse may have panicked and tipped the wagon over and dragged it for some short distance before it broke its harness and left the wagon behind, which is why you would see the damage that you do see.
Okay, but there's no dead horses around.
You see no dead horses, no.
Maybe some horses out here to catch.
Andy.
I mean, they're easy to collect. They're not particularly intelligent animals. All right. What about this Volder? It looks pretty good.
The what, sorry?
The other wagon.
The Vardo.
Yeah,
Yep. It is a very neat, well-maintained, small little travelling caravan, replete with cooking utensils on the outside, and it's got a bunch of herbs and onions dangling from it, to dry in the air. It looks like it's well stocked, well equipped, and quite likely it's been set in the position it's in to camp overnight.
Is this person dead?
Oh yeah.
I think you could tell that, yeah.
I know the goblin said that he was, and that he died badly, but
He
could probably check.
He looks quite
Is it-
bad. And
Is there any indication of how the wounds were inflicted on both the lizard men and the human?
the human looks to have been ripped apart his entrails has spilled out onto the ground and the blood is sort of congealed quite significantly. It looks like he died, the day before at the very least, maybe a couple of days prior. It's starting to smell a bit. There's a bit of a buzz of insects around. The lizards look like they were killed by some creature that stood maybe about 5 feet tall using a sharp slashing weapon, and they have suffered significant injuries to their lower abdomen and legs.
Okay, well, that seems to check out.
Shall we take their heads?
Did you say the lizards were killed by slashing weapons?
Yep.
Yeah,
Didn't-
like that.
Didn't the guy say he shot them with a crossbowy thing?
There were some darts in them as well, yes. But,
Right, okay.
He probably just went in and finished the job.
I mean, he did have a big choppy.
Yeah.
Big chopper.
the most significant wounds were from these slashing injuries.
Fair enough.
Alright. Should we hide these wagons and continue tracking, or...
Okay, 2 of you have the hunting skill, however, so that is Lenza and
Yep.
Sean. It's, whilst fletching and the like isn't really fully encapsulated in hunting, it gives you enough of an indication. There are multiple types of darts and barbs in these lizards that have... So either someone was firing with 2 weapons or 3 weapons, or there were more than one.
More than one battle happening, or more than one side at least.
More than one creature engaging them.
So maybe he was leading a squad of goblins. Or people.
Hobgoblins, maybe?
Yeah, maybe he's got other friends.
Or maybe it was one hobgoblin with 6 crossbows.
Indeed.
Or maybe it was the missing lady on whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't
Because there
sound
was-
like a noble woman's weapon of choice, but who knows?
So
What, a crossbow?
Amrian will indicate that the dead body of the human is Duras the driver.
That's not good.
Is there any evidence that that like someone else has been, that anyone's been dragged off, or like there's no tracks like that around?
You have a bit of a squiz, you and Sean. Anyone who's got keen eyes can also cast their peepers around, have a bit of a investigation. These large lizard creatures don't move cautiously across the ground. They're probably apex predators, pretty arrogant in their numbers and size and strength, and they leave pretty large gouges where they walk, and they're heavy as well. There appears to have been more than the 2 that were here. You don't see any creature that has been dragged, but then these things could probably quite easily lift a human.
Yep, and just carry it with them.
Just carry it off, especially if it is an elderly noble woman. Duras has underneath him, under his body, he has a small hatchet, so it looks like he died trying to fight.
Is there anything of value in the cart or the little cabin thing?
So the Vardo is the caravan, and yes, it's a fully stocked caravan. It's got, as I mentioned, it's herbs and onions and a few salted fish on the outside. It has cooking utensils of cast iron, pretty good quality. It has, if you go inside, there is linen and clothes, as well as the accoutrements that a noble woman might have when she's on the road. No entourage, but it's got good quality gear in there.
So
I mean,
perhaps the shoe
Cast iron's bloody good shit.
good skill is worth its weight.
Sure is.
Saying that, you also have one of Lady Filius's staff right with you at the moment, looting her caravan when her whether she's alive or not is, probably in poor taste. But, that's never stopped you before.
Are we actually looting? I thought we were just looking
No, no.
around.
We're searching.
I was just giving you a friendly little,
Oh,
I wasn't planning to just go and ransack it. No, but
Amrian will be looking at the cart, and Rasputin will be having a bit of a look around and then decide he's going to start eating some of the things that have fallen out of the cart.
mhm.
All right, let's have a look at that.
So the cart/wagon, it's decent size, and Amrian will say, I don't recognise this. At least it's not something that Lady Phileas was left the valley left Don Duran with. So why it's here, I don't know.
Sorry, what's this?
oh, it's a different.
The
It's not
wagon
their
is not
wagon.
familiar to Amrian.
No, yes,
right.
that's what he's mentioned earlier, but he's just doubling down on it. Only the Vardo was Lady Phileas's. The wagon, she didn't leave town with a wagon. She left only with the Vardo, her and Duras. There is, I don't know who this wagon belongs to or what it's doing here. He will start having a look at the ground around it, and he'll pick it up. It's like it's stocked with food, and
Potatoes.
it's all the way out here. It's not going to any settlement.
Having a quick look at the contents, does that food look like it could have been enough to resupply Kel's Rise?
It may have been a wagon as part of a supply caravan. Might have been one wagon. Alone, it wouldn't resupply it for more than a day or two.
So
But
that sounds
still
like
a
this.
significant amount of food and stuff. So either it has been detached from whatever, or it's been purposely left behind for the lady to catch to beat up with, or something along those lines.
There is substantial amount of food there, and the amount of food there would last one or two people a very long time. And most of the food is of the type that will not perish very quickly. There is a lot of root vegetables, there are some dried meats, etc. There are also some potted meats and
Legumes.
Yep,
Ooh,
stuff like
fancy.
that. Yep, and you even find a good stash of portable soup.
Wow. Height of camping luxury.
Yep.
How much space do we have on the mule?
Mules.
Or is it possible to repair the cart and attach the mule, like get the mules to tow it?
Well, I do have 2 spells of mending. Because that's all I cast. So,
Alternatively, is it possible to get the
Vardo.
and connect Vardo, whatever you want to call it, get the horses to tow it, and then put all of a significant amount of the food in the Vardo? Then we can eat in luxury, and someone can sleep in luxury, namely the cleric.
we don't have the horses, though. We've only got this one guy who's with us as horse, and it's his horse.
Don't we have mules?
Oh, we've got the donkeys.
I don't think they're designed for like hauling this type of stuff, unfortunately.
Yeah, we could try and find the horse that bolted, but
Yeah.
he might be some way away.
They
Okay.
don't generally wander too far.
So to answer
Unless they're being threatened.
So to answer these numerous questions, the wagon, we'll call it the cart, has significant damage. One of the axles has snapped free of its housing. You would not be able to repair this by yourself out here. It would take, at the very least, tools that you do not have on you.
What about magical mending?
It will not repair the damage that's been caused to it.
Crisis.
It's significant damage. Saying that, the Vardo, you don't have harnesses to attach the donkeys to it, and again, as has been pointed out, they aren't beasts of burden, but at a pinch they could they could pull it if you could jury rig something up, and given time, you could easily do so with what's available here too. It might take a day or two before you've got something suitable that won't cause injury to the donkeys when they try to pull something so heavy across.
How far off the actual proper path are we now at this point?
Significantly off path.
Can I just point out that the definition of a donkey is a beast of burden?
Not to pull something.
Yeah,
I know, but it's just funny.
Yeah, it's
much
like.
later.
I mean,
It seems very weird for this food cart to be all the way out here, so far away from anything really.
A Vado of this size being pulled across ground like this, which isn't a hard surface and is going to be uneven, would need a draft horse or oxen to pull it.
like an ox.
I'm not disagreeing with you about the mule and not being able to tow it. It's more just that a mule is still a beast of burden, just a lighter burden.
A different type of burden.
Yeah. Well, luckily we have Hypatia and Kruber, and they're both beasts of burden.
That they are.
As well.
So we could just rig them up.
This is, you know how when we want to catch like a wolf, we like stake out some bait and wait for the wolf to like come and get it, and then we jump.
I'm liking where this is going.
Does this look like, adventure bait to you? Look, there's all this food sitting right here. You should set up camp and just like eat a feast of food. Nothing bad will happen.
To me, it looks like maybe there were like some lizard men who were transporting stolen food from Kel's Rise, and they just randomly came across this, other wagon, and shit went down, and they won. But then some goblins came along and killed them.
Except that's a good theory. Except that
Where are the horses?
Well, they ran away.
Yeah, except
except the wagon got dragged here.
It looks like it got dragged by a panicked animal, and that's how it broke the axle housing and tipped.
So they were chasing the wagon from Kel's Rise, and just so happened to tip over here. Oh, this is convenient.
A little bit too many convenience thing or comment there.
It's the goblin, I'm telling you. We should have killed it, says Theta.
Yeah, maybe.
Simply, we don't have enough information to do much else than what we've got now. Do we want to try it? I think we should probably just leave all this stuff here and continue. Actually, no.
No.
We should try and at least secure some of the food and stuff to make sure it doesn't spoil horribly just by leaving it out on the ground, and then move on.
Amrian has done a bit of a search around, and underneath the back of the Vado, he's returned with a small little spade, and he's digging a grave to bury Duras in.
Yeah, okay, that's a fair move. Get you
I
meeting
think
to
we
help
should-
him, Als.
How much space do we have on those mules for all of this free food?
You won't be able to carry it all again. You'll be able to carry some of it, but you need packing and frames to carry it. These are crates of food.
Yeah,
But I'm not talking about taking all of it. I'm just saying, why don't we just increase the amount of time we can travel without having to get more food?
You can do that.
Oh, just take a couple of days worth of rations. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
But
some free rations. Like let's load the mules up with about as much as we can carry, and then we don't have to stop all the time.
That's
Well, we only need enough to last us however many days the food's going to last. But can we... I guess they have legumes, which basically last forever. But
And
we
have
should
purify food.
Oh. Yeah, sure. We should just hide the Valda, and then we can come back to it. Like, hide the wagon, come back to it later.
I mean, do we really need to hide it? It's not like it's going to be out in the. We're basically in the middle of nowhere here. It's not like people are going to come across it that often.
But animals are going to scent it out if it's
Yeah,
full.
I guess true.
So we should really remove the
Do
food
what with
from-
it? Oh, you mean the
The food.
car?
Yeah, I mean the nice wagon, not the wagon that's full of food. I mean, like, clean the food out of the nice wagon so that animals don't, wreck it, and so that things aren't drawn to it because of the animals, and then we'll pick it up on the way back. Maybe there'll be something left on this wagon, but I highly doubt it. As soon as we leave it behind, animals are going to come. Like, food just doesn't sit around.
Yeah.
Well, it is in crates.
Well, yeah, stuff that's in crates, maybe, for a while. And we can certainly try to, like, shore it up and stuff, but, yeah.
Okay, what are we going to do with all this food, assuming it's still here when we get back? We don't have a wagon. We don't have enough horses to tow
who
it.
knows? Maybe we will have found horses. Maybe we won't have. But if we do, we do.
You can, as I mentioned, spend a day or so to jury rig something up with what's available to be able to transport the Vardo. That way you'll be able to, get something whereby the donkeys can pull it without injuring themselves. You'd need both of them to be able to move this caravan. So that's, you're going to have to create a yoke so that they can walk side by side without, spooking each other and the like. But you can do that, and if you do that, then you will be able to transpose some of the produce into the Vardo. Amrian's not comfortable leaving the Vardo here, especially if it's got many of Lady Filius's belongings in there, her personal artifacts and items.
I just don't see the point in trying to take the Vardo with us when we're heading to the wilderness, not back to town. I think we should leave it where it is and pick it up on the way back to town.
But it
I
most likely
think
won't be here. Anyone that comes across it will either steal it or ransack it.
Thing is, would people come across it though? Is the one thing I'm saying. We're not on the path. We're kind of ways off it.
Well, we've come across some these things. Your point with disgust to the large lizard creatures and that degenerate that was here previously. Plus, there are hunters and there are trappers that roam around the wilderness. Might come across it. We came across it. Who knows what else? It only takes one person of ill repute and it's either gone or its contents are gone. That's all I'm saying.
Well, can I just sort of point out the fact that what's more important, finding the lady before anything bad happens, or worrying about a Vardo which potentially can be replaced?
I would say obviously finding Lady Filius, but if we do find her as well, she probably would like to make sure that her belongings are intact. Plus, it gives her somewhere to stay once we have found her. But
We're gonna struggle to take the Vardo off cross country with the equipment we have. Is all I'm saying.
I mean, we could try and conceal it, but that'd be pretty hard.
No, we'll just have Kruber and Hypatia drag it. Like, they can do it. They're ripped. They're seriously ripped. Way more ripped than a donkey. That's what I'm saying. We'll just rig them up into a 4-animal harness, okay? 2 donkeys and 2 donkeys.
we have my steed as well.
And his steed. Excellent.
Guess I keep
Now
forgetting
he's
about that.
still walking my mind.
But look, I am by no means an adventurer, and I do not know the logistics of what is at stake here very well. I'm only just putting forth a couple copper of my thoughts into the pot, but you obviously need to make the decision because you're experts in this field, and I will not stand in your way or gainsay your decisions. I was only merely offering a suggestion, but you know more than I do about these matters, obviously. So, and
I mean,
here-
do you know how to rig a harness?
I guess no. Maybe a better question is around what's the land like around here? Is there any place that we could reasonably hide or at least try and half conceal?
There are these trees spotted all over the place. There are small little shallow valleys and little hills, and there's rocky outcrops, and every now and then you come across a small standing perched pond or small little lake, etc. a watering hole or whatever. There is long grass, there is short grass. It is kind of a hodgepodge of different types of scenery, and you could easily find something by which you could hide behind. I mean, individually, you guys could hide almost behind these trees that are on this map alone.
Mm-hmm.
I think I agree with the whole. Let's just try and hide it, leave it here, come back for it later.
Yeah.
If that's a feasible option, because I think we still have to try and find where the hell the lady went to, and dragging a massive cart across the ground is just not going to go well for us.
Fine, then let's just push it to the nearest thicket, cover it in branches, and walk off.
I
Yep.
concur.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
So yeah, ideally we find like some I guess a bit of a ridge to hide out of obvious sight rather than just a tree, but we'll see how we go.
And try to conceal the wagon, the wheel trail thingies.
Is it possible, Amrin will say again, seemingly ignoring his earlier statement not 2 minutes ago to not get involved, that the goblin took Lady Phileas?
It's not impossible, but it seems unlikely.
Let's check for tracks.
Yeah. That seems reasonable. Have we actually determined if the lady would? How do we have any idea how long since the Vada was actually used?
Couple days,
I mean,
maybe
it's
at most.
Yeah, I mean the guy's been dead for about 2 days, so I'm guessing that's about when they stopped using it.
Yeah.
Okay,
like
so
that.
in that case, we should let's look for tracks. I think that's an excellent idea.
So Amrian will take Rasputin and start trying to find the track or any scent of Lady Phileas.
And he can do that while we hide the wagon and pick up all this food.
Yep. And he will lead the hound around the area, back and forth, being fairly methodical. And he will come back scratching his head that Rasputin has seemingly no scent of the lady in this area.
No, that is unusual.
What about the lizard men?
What about the lizard men? I must admit, the scent of them has made Rasputin a little bit
Skittish?
skittish. Yes, he is. Even though they have been dead a while, he doesn't like them at all, and they may be interfering with his ability to find Lady Phileas. He is also an old dog, and wants to probably sleep more than be doing this. This is his last great adventure.
Well, maybe perhaps going with the theory that perhaps the lizardmen are responsible for the abduction of the lady. Perhaps we could track them. Would that be possible? Or sense similar to those lizardmen?
I don't see why not. We can track them.
Better than just sitting here doing nothing.
That's right. In worst case, we find an encampment of them and kill them. Or they kill us.
Yeah.
I just noticed, did you put red squares around their heads, Aaron?
Yes, I did.
Cool.
That's just me saying that I took those heads. Yoink.
Cool. They are large heads. Taking the heads will impact on your capacity to take more veggies.
Yeah, veggies.
Why are we taking their heads again?
Money. We can turn them in for a coin
Yes.
at Summerton.
Yeah.
That's right.
Also rep. We're monster killers or corpse looters. Either way.
Strip the
Or
scales,
monsters.
You could strip the leathery hide, the scaly skin, and the flesh from them, and wear their skulls as helmets.
I mean, that's what Mark would have
could.
done, but he's not here.
You could pretend you're General Kale from Willow.
I think that would constitute me having to leave the group.
Yeah, no. Look,
That's
I'm not doing that. Don't worry. It's not a. I think just taking the heads is fair enough.
Headwagon standard.
The head of others with an asterisk was worth, so other creatures, asterisk, was worth 10 gold piece a pop.
All right.
So Amrian will say, look, the lizards, there were more of them, have headed off to the pretty much due east.
Cool.
Alright, so if there are no tracks, so let's see. There's no scent and presumably tracks from the lady or other humans, so that seems our best lead.
To follow the lizards.
Yeah. I mean, what
So
does
there's
everyone
no-
else think?
I think this is a complete distraction from what we were doing because we were actually headed to the Whispering Woods.
The Laughing Woods.
Laughing Woods, which is, I mean, I guess they're partially east, but they're like
Northish.
northeast.
Yep.
So, I don't know, if we start just going east, I feel like we're going off the track that we should be following.
Okay.
But we're also trying to find the lady, and obviously she didn't reach the woods.
But she is being called there, so if she's still under her own power, that's where she's going to be going.
I doubt she is.
Do you really
Because you-
think they'd keep her alive? If they have her? Like, if she's with the lizards? Is she
I mean, she's not dead here like everything else. So
And that's why I think she got away to the northeast, not with them to the east. I mean, I'm fine with going to the east and killing lizards, but
Well,
I do sort of feel like that's giving up on our quest.
You
So-
realise this whole thing is giving up on our quest to see the brothers up north.
Oh yeah, I was all on board on giving up on that quest.
okay.
from what
Until-
I've seen from this fight, the fact that the actual warrior couldn't survive, I don't think the lady could have escaped.
He's not a warrior. He's just like a 50-year-old.
He's a driver.
He's a driver. He's a
Yeah.
civilian.
I mean, again, but that just means that it's less likely for anything to really survive this.
Okay.
Yeah, and also that servant girl, she's not there either.
Okay. Well, if we start following the lizards, what would you think of rigging up the wagon with the guy's horse and just sending him and the dog back to town because we don't need them to track anymore if we're going to follow the lizards, or do we need them to track?
I'd imagine he wouldn't be too keen on going back on his own, considering he has just seen evidence of a massive attack by.
Yep. Okay, and also,
Weren't we using
I'm
the dog to
100
track the
is-
lizards?
I'm
Yeah.
100%
That's what I was
in
asking.
favour of what
Do we
was
need
just
dogs
said.
for lizards?
Ah,
yep,
hello.
So Jaquan has just been, walked forward into the pool and he's floundering.
I was explaining that to my friends this evening.
Yeah.
I guess
That
I
looks
better.
like a chunk of XP.
Sadly, not ours.
Oh.
Yeah. For goblins.
Do two of those
Oh,
guys
God.
have level up symbols on their bars, or
No.
what does that mean?
What?
The little pluses on, is it Hypatia and Minerva and
Jaquan.
Jaquan?
Yes.
Good question.
I think it's because I have a higher hit point total than my maximum hit points.
Likewise.
Ah.
One cast
Why is that?
8 or something.
Sorry?
Why do you have higher hit points than actual hit points?
I have a magical spell in effect that gives me higher hit points. I don't know why Jaquan does.
No idea either.
Because he's cheating.
Shots fired.
Seems likely for this session. Alan.
What?
Yeah,
I should have known what it was as well. That's the
Actually-
tragic part.
I think what's happened is, did Jaquan's hit points go up to 18? But
Yeah,
but he hasn't. Okay, but what should have happened is then this should be also 18.
I've just changed it.
Okay. Yes. All done. So yes, does someone want to fill in Den with what you have done or what has been found and what hasn't been killed and the fact that the dwarf wanted to start shenanigans?
We ran into some guy that hired us to kill his zombie friend at the bar. That guy, he left. He was hunting a beast. Then we came across this wagon the next day, knocked over food, these dead guys.
Question.
Yeah?
The dead friend, I assume we marked him?
No. The dead friend is in the zombie. That
Yes.
wasn't Mark.
But did we mark him as our target? Well, as long as you got the pun, thank you. I got a groan. Please continue.
Right, okay. Yep.
Jeez.
So,
Anyway, yeah, so now we've just been discussing what to do with all this stuff.
That was the
And-
guy that we was talking about?
Oh,
Yeah. Do you remember him? He's literally from the one session I missed.
he looks very much like if the dad out of the Commodore out of Hornblower
Uh-huh.
and Aragorn were to have a love child.
Ah, not a bad call.
Okay, so he was from
Here-
he was from 2 sessions previously.
He reminds me of the guy out of The Princess Bride, who was always running around trying to kill people with 6.
Inigo Montoya.
No, the six-fingered
That's him.
man, Count Rugen.
Oh, you think he looks like Count Rugen? Okay.
He looks more like Count Rugen than Inigo. And
Yeah.
you also came across this guy.
Oh,
Yep.
there's a handsome chunk of goblin
meat.
orc meat.
Yeah, Goblin.
Goblinoid.
In this case, Goblin.
Goblin.
Possibly a hobgoblin.
Maybe.
Mm.
Alright,
Any rate,
so
Fair.
Basically, he killed Lizman after they killed that guy there, and he had a message for us from that the lady of the something, which I can't.
Yeah, the lantern.
lantern.
You know, the 2 guys, boss.
Yep, the brothers.
Yep.
And
the
then
brothers.
basically, he basically said,
Hurry
"Quit
up.
stuffing around. Go find her in the the thing of icicles."
Grove.
Yeah.
Grove of Garden or Grove, something like
Yeah, Icicle Grove. He indeed blackboarded it and said, "Hurry up." So, yeah, we can't find the scent of the lady, so the only thing we've got to go by now is the scent and tracks of the lizards who meandered off in Nya direction.
Okay. I was just wanting to ask Amrin, is there any tracks which don't look like human or lizardmen around here?
Yes. There are what appear to be, after you go have a good look, probably, well, you said not human, didn't you?
Yeah.
Not lizard, not human. Okay, so there are horse tracks, but other than that, no. All the other tracks seem to fit in to your classifications.
Okay.
Are we able to determine how many lizard men might have been around here? Like roughly? Are we talking a score, 2 score, 20 score?
Hard to tell. None of you are actual trackers. You think that there was maybe close to possibly a dozen, maybe?
Okay.
So in the order of a score.
Whisper
Twin.
was with Minerva's logo.
What's with Minerva's logo?
That's
What do you mean?
That's what
Well-
Den typed.
Hypatia has a picture. There's patterns that make moderate sense for the rest of us.
Oh.
This is Minerva's 3 interlocking triangles.
Okay. It's the world tree from Norse mythology. It's
Okay.
it's the 9 worlds.
Right.
There you go.
Sorted.
Cool. I didn't know what you were talking about either, so all good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So lizards went that way.
Due east, roughly.
Those lizards look pretty big.
They are. They stand about 8 feet tall. And they would be slightly hunched as well.
Like Minerva's mum, the 8 foot tall pup.
I wouldn't know.
Exactly.
So yes.
So,
You believe there may have been a dozen, maybe less. It's hard to tell. Again, you're not trackers. It is easy to find that there were, footprints of these things. That's a given because, again, they're large, heavy things that were seemingly pretty arrogant in their movements, and they've got sharp claws on their feet, and they chewed up the ground. How many there were, not that great at counting them. Other footprints that you find, other than the horses, which you also have a distinct digging up of the ground, you reckon you found just humans. Again, hard to tell exactly. It doesn't seem that there was anything else around here that was causing a problem.
Everything you're saying about these guys just keeps making me think Space Marines. It's a problem. I don't want to fight Space Marines.
yeah, that'd be bad.
I never need
Everything makes
MP3
you
weapons.
Space Marines.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, so we're thinking that we're going to follow them and then sell them Avon products.
So we've officially gone evil?
No, officially evil's Amway, man.
Oh, wow.
Nestle.
Spoken like a man with a very dirty shower.
Amrian has finished by now burying Duras.
Good. I hope he said something nice.
You shouldn't have left.
Ooh, cutting remarks.
Spoken like a true commoner.
I mean,
Ooh.
it's a verbal evisceration.
It was. He left. He left it all out there in the boxing ring, didn't he?
Black humor. It's like food.
Too much of it gives you indigestion?
Not everybody gets it.
What?
Yeah. Okay, so are we going to run off in the woods, or are we going to follow the Lisbon tracks to their probable encampment?
Well, we want to follow the Lizardman first, and also hide this whatever we're the two things here, or at least try to gather up some of the supplies and chuck them all in the still usable caravan.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, anything that can actually be sealed in a crate.
Okay, that's fine.
Older. Alright, let's chase these guys.
Alright, at this point, you hear a commotion from within the Vardo.
Oh, it's the
I
guy
want to
hiding
check the
inside.
freaking Vardo.
We did check the Vardo.
You did.
So they were hidden. We just sucked at searching.
Wow. Okay, let's see what happened. Let's go.
That checks out.
Yep.
You were thorough. No one was in there.
Now someone is.
Vardos are small. There's not a lot of room in there. It's pretty cramped. You can sit down, or you can stand stooping, or you can lie on the bed.
They've got smuggler's holds for that fancy Kessel run.
They might do. Anyway,
They did it in 11 pancakes. I retract my pancake comment.
upon investigation, you'll find...
Is she under the floorboards?
Nope, she's inside the Vardo. Just inside, there's virtually no room for her to be under the floorboards.
Did we miss her when we were checking it out and saw the herbs
Yeah.
and spices in there?
No,
Yeah.
she just was not in there.
She
And
just
now
walked
she
in
is.
there. And she's excellent.
Right.
So invisible teleportation. There's many things that could have happened, but
Hello.
She'll just look at you and she'll say something in a language that you do not understand.
Ah. I tell her to speak
Trade.
in
Trade tongue.
old tongue.
She'll kind of look at you. Her eyes will narrow slightly. And then Amrian will just look at her. She's the spitting image of Lady Phileas 30 years ago.
So she doesn't speak old lore?
She's not saying anything. She said something in a tongue that you didn't understand.
Lady Phileas?
She'll like kind of show some form of recognition to what you're saying, but
Oh no, I'm asking who Lady Phileas is.
the person we're trying to find.
you weren't here for last
He's
session?
trolling. He is.
No, I wasn't here for last session.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Dang it.
I was going to Adelaide the following
You
day.
were under a bridge, weren't you?
Lol, 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 lol.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were doing. Yeah, she's who we're tracking down at the moment.
But apparently a lot. She was a bit older last time we checked.
Yeah, 50. Greyish hair.
Mm-hmm.
Had some kind of curse. Heard voices. Needed to go to the woods.
Maybe she's been to the woods and she's come back a renewed person.
I try speaking to her in Elvish. Common Elvish. How's that work out?
Okay, can I have...
Well, none of us understand the language, so I doubt.
Hang on, can I have Lenza and Minerva make an intelligence check for me, please?
God, no.
Great.
Let's see
D20
this.
equal to or under your intelligence.
Ooh.
It's not.
Oh, equal! Yes!
Okay.
Oh,
Okay,
in the champion.
So yeah, my intelligence is 10, so that was well under.
it took you both a moment or two to recognize what you believed the language was. It was not something that you identified easily at first. It sounded completely harsh and alien to your elven sensibilities, some more so than others, being pure-blooded elf Lenza, only half-blooded Minerva. You believe she is speaking Dark Fae.
Oh.
So Dark Fae is an impossibly rare tongue, a twisted form of High Elvish that's corrupted and made perverse. It is the language that is known to be common amongst the malevolent fallen elves.
So this is weird.
That's different.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all.
Well, she is cursed.
Yeah, exactly.
So she's a dark elf who's been cursed with looking like a light elf.
Or
Or
she-
filthy human.
Or she's possessed this person so that she can have... I don't know why she'd want to possess this person, though.
Only
Why not both?
She'll say something again and she looks incredibly frustrated that you aren't understanding what she is saying. And, and then she will sit down and and tears start to form in her eyes and she'll just bury her face in her hands and just
Does anyone have any way of understanding languages that aren't ones we already know?
Yes, I have a spell. It's called Comprehend Languages.
I too have a way. I will walk over and put my arm around to comfort her.
Oh no! Oh, this is gonna end well, I'm sure.
I mean, it's good. It'll take. I'll have to learn it tomorrow, but
It's on brand for Kroobs.
she does not flinch, but she says something else and it's hard
Do
to...
I feel my hair starting to go ginger?
Maybe.
I'm trying to work out if my soul is being sucked out.
yeah.
No, but every time she speaks, it does sound like the language does seem to suck the air out of the area, and it's part of the reason why it seems so incomprehensible. The language itself seems really warped, twisted, and full of bile and hate.
So it's a Yorkshire dialect? Nah, that feels unkind. Minerva, do you have some pen and some quill and paper that you could pass her? See if she's able to write in any other languages or communicate through Pictionary?
Not until tomorrow.
Pen and paper.
I don't carry. I have a bunch of books, but I don't have
Worst
sheets of
mage
paper.
ever.
She can't write in my spell book or
Well,
on the scrolls.
It's not like you use it.
I mean, I'm not refuting that is the case, but still, she can draw in the dirt just like everybody else can. Draw a mud map. This is not complicated. What do we want to know for her anyway? We start playing Pictionary.
I'll ask the hunter. I forgot his name because of course I have.
The animal handler. Amrian.
Yeah, Arian. If he's ever known her to speak that language, like, is that a common thing, or like is there some kind of secret language of the manor that he lives in, or if it's just completely out of left field?
No, he's never heard this before. The language is, not the language that a refined lady like Lady Filius would ever dare utter. She would she would never even come into any means by which she would learn such a hideous tongue.
That's what I thought.
Happily, we don't have to understand her to take her home.
Does she not have
Take her.
a spellbook of Duolingo?
I'll go with no.
So, what time of the day is it?
It is probably getting now towards early dusk. It's been some time. You were faffing around for a bit. Took you about a bit over half the day to get here, and then having a good old investigation, digging graves, etc., and the like.
So,
What a lovely day.
Let's camp here and
I was going to say we'll be camping here, won't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's camp here and then hopefully have the comprehend language up for tomorrow, and we can go from there.
Shall we try to communicate this to the laddie somehow?
I mean,
Yeah,
We've
we
got good
start
charisma.
setting up camp.
Yeah. Sure. What were you wanting? Were you wanting Hypatia to unroll her bedroll and pat it
I'll be
while
right back,
gesturing
sorry.
at the lady?
It
'Cause
seems that
I don't like that.
It seems that she kind of has at least some inkling or understanding of what you are saying, even though you do not have any of hers. And she does also seem to recognize Amrian. Maybe not like greatly, but there seems to be some visible cues there that there is familiarity.
Okay.
Cool.
So you know you're going to have to cast 2 comprehend language spells, yeah?
Why?
Because it doesn't let you speak the language, it just lets you comprehend it. So you're going to have to cast it on her and on yourself.
Molly annoying.
Now, you see, that's the kind of thinking that more than Intelligence 9 gets you.
I mean, I only really... Yeah, okay. I mean, I can...
Shots fired at Minerva. Shots fired at Minerva.
I'm not sure I can cast it on somebody else. I haven't
you
actually
can.
really read this.
Rangers,
Ranges
it's
touch.
Rangers. Yeah, they've got the
Cool.
touch and the the touch or the range and the duration around the wrong way.
Haven't they?
Yeah.
Duration
actu-
touch, range 5 rounds.
Haven't actually cast the spell. Doesn't really come up, and my character's theme is only to cast Mend, so she has spells, but they're a side note. Alright, that's fine. I can memorize it twice. That's all my spell slots. Name.
Worst
Hang on.
mage ever.
So you're actually going to do something functional?
I just
Like you're actually casting a spell that's going to be useful?
mending is super useful. I don't know what you're talking about.
How many times have you cast it in the campaign?
Heaps.
I have cast it 62 times. By the end of the day, it will be 64 times.
Do you just randomly cast it on random crap?
just walks
No,
past.
I have an item that I'm very slowly mending.
No, so actually what's happening is she suffers from chafing a lot, and so she uses mending to try and prevent that.
She casts mending on her wand. That is what she does.
That is what I said.
Yeah.
Did I miss anything important or no?
I mean, I've
So-
spoken, so probably not.
You're saying she's got chafe, or is it she's rubbing it so much it's wearing out?
Minerva,
The answer is yes.
Minerva just walks past. You know that scene in Shazam where he was walking past and charging
No, I
bones?
still haven't managed to see it.
Anyway,
Let's set up camp.
she keeps trying to communicate, and every time she opens her mouth, this hideous, horrible language will spew forth.
I'm going to see if she actually understands me by asking her to do some things.
She has a vague understanding. It seems that she has less of an understanding of the exact thing you're saying, but she has an understanding of concept and theme that you are trying to communicate.
So if I say, "Can you pat your head for me?" she doesn't pat her head.
No.
Right.
If Minerva asks her to drop it like it's hot, what is her response?
Don't ask that.
I'm not gonna ask. What?
She instead starts shuffling.
Nice.
Every day. Every day.
And therein is the curse.
Yup. Hey, at least we don't come zombies we're after now.
Excellent. That is the curse. Alright. Cool. Well, let's make camp. We'll follow our regular watches. Eat some of this free food that's just lying around. And I'll get comprehend languages.
You mean the lizard people?
No, I mean the food out of the wagons, but I like where your head's at. Eating some lizard people.
Where's your heads at?
The heads are on the back of the mules, aren't they?
They sure are.
Yep.
Alright. Do we make it till morning? Are we attacked by a random group of lizards?
And does she agree to this plan?
Does she stick
seems-
around?
She is sticking around. She seems to be kind of understanding, at least in principle, what you're trying to do. And she's not making a bolt for it. Again, she seems to be quite emotional. She has moments where she seems to be sobbing a bit. She has her cheeks are streaked and stained with tears. Anyone who is close enough to her, Jaquan, you are one of such people. You'll notice that
Yep.
her tears seem to have a slightly dark, oily substance within them. It's almost like there's a shimmer in them when you see it, and it's like very faint, but it does seem to be some kind of substance that is also leaking from her eyes.
This is concerning.
Yep.
Well,
Mm.
this is what the watch is for. But it could be something to do with the curse.
Yeah, we need to get her back to town.
Alright,
Or at least yell at know what she's
I'll
doing.
take first watch.
well, we have the watches down.
Where the watch set up.
Yeah.
We have...
Oh.
So the watches, first watch was Minerva and Kukulane, second watch was Lenza and Thaydair, third watch was Hypatia and Erin, fourth watch was Jaquan and Sean.
Mhm.
So, the watches will pass without any outside event. Nothing untoward will occur from outside your little camp. During the night, this mysterious woman, who Amrian believes is the spitting image, at least what he has seen in portraits, because he wasn't alive back then, of Lady Phileas when she was 30 years younger, in her early 20s. She seems to shake uncontrollably. She doesn't seem to sleep much, if at all. She mutters in this language at night, and it freaks out anyone who is, close by. When she does shake and seems to have these slight fits, it's very mechanical in nature and not smooth at all. The movements aren't like what you would expect from a human. They're almost clockwork in nature and very jerky. And every now and then she will go from just the muttering to something louder, and then she'll start sobbing again. And she's
absolutely possessed. Yep.
Yep. That's what it sounds like.
Yep.
Cool.
And she will also, therefore, make sure that none of you have a good night's sleep.
Can I lock myself up in the Valda?
Yep, you can do
when
that.
I assume she's in there.
No, because we can't leave her out of our sight. We are watching her.
I agree with Minerva. We should lock Minerva in the Valda and set fire to it and push it down the hill.
I just need the rest so that I can get my spells, so that we can communicate with her, so we can drag her back to town.
You will have enough rest that you can, prepare spells. It'll just take a little bit longer, but you can do so. So I'm not going to,
We're in no rush here.
Yep. So you can prepare your comprehend languages if you wish to do so.
Woohoo! Yes. Comprehend languages. Alright. And then I guess I will, I'll cast that on myself, and I'll cast it on, I mean, there's 3 of us with the same charisma bonus.
The caster can understand the spoken words of creatures or read otherwise incomprehensible written messages. In either case, the creature or the writing must be touched. The ability to read does not necessarily impart insight into the material, namely its literal meaning. The spell enables the caster to understand or read an unknown language, not speak or write it. So as Sean was mentioning, as Henry mentioned, you'll need 2, because whilst you will be able to understand her babbling, she will not be able to understand yours. But if you cast it on each of you, then your babbling will appear to be, you have now a babble
Mutual
fish.
comprehension.
You got yourself a babble fish.
But yeah, that's fine. I was just saying I don't have to be the one that talks to her, though, because I could just cast it on, 2 people. That's fine. I have the same charisma as you. We'll do it with Minerva, but
Sure.
that involves its own risk of wisdom 4.
As long as you tell us exactly what's going on. In fact, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and her incredibly callous nature, and that this chick may be worth more dead than alive. But let's find out what happens. All right.
She hasn't been hostile to us yet, so
exactly.
That's always a good start.
Comprehend languages.
What level magic user are you? Second?
Second.
Alright, so it's going to last for a combined total of 10 rounds. So you have 1 minute and 20 seconds.
Wow.
Really?
Okay.
Sorry?
Wait.
Sorry,
isn't
a minute. You'll have, a minute. Don't know where I got. So 10 rounds, so each round is 6 seconds, or is it 10 seconds? 10 seconds.
Wait, so it doesn't last turns, it lasts rounds?
Rounds.
Rip.
Wait. Is that right?
Yes.
Well then I won't cast it. I'll write out a whole lot of stuff first. So we should just write down our questions, because when it's cast, she can read the questions, and it's much faster to read than it is to hear.
Okay.
That sounds like some intelligence 9 thinking.
Yeah, because talking is so much less efficient than writing.
No, reading. Talking, listening is less efficient than reading, yes. Your word count is much higher when reading. Well, if you have any ability to read. If you can't read. I
So
take that
you're
back.
intending to write it out, then cast it on her and let her read it, are you?
Yeah, well, read it. Read the questions. She can then tell us the answers. Because I'll also have comprehend, so I'll be able to understand what her answers are. But what do we want to ask her? What do we want to talk about?
Okay, let's first easy one. Are you Lady Filius? Why have you come here?
Right?
Where did you come from? Where do you go?
Do you
No.
like pina coladas?
No.
Well, I don't know which one of those two songs irritates me more.
Anybody else got anything apart from "Are you Lady Filius"?
Why
What's
did you
with
come
the-
here?
Okay.
What's with the mechanical tears?
What's within that language
why
no
you-
one speaks?
Why do you look so much younger? I guess. Like, what has happened to you? I mean,
Okay.
it's rude, but also
We hear you be cursed. Is this something to do with the curse?
Okay. Why did you come here? Why are you younger? What happened? And are you okay with coming back to town with us?
to the problem,
Don Don.
whatever. Yeah, like that one. Not the one closer to the frontier.
Oh, you're talking about Summerton as opposed to Dondarn?
No,
No,
I'm
we're
talking
going
about
Yeah. Dodar.
back, not forward.
Doldoran.
Yeah.
Can we also write at the very top of the piece of paper how long the spell's going to last, so she knows how quickly she has to respond?
Yes.
Okay, yes. You only have... Well, I can actually... Yeah, okay. You've only got 100 seconds to respond.
Once the spell's cast.
Well, as soon as she reads this.
Yeah. This message will self-destruct.
Fine. Once you have read this, you have 50 seconds to respond.
I prepared explosive knowledge. Boom, is your mind blown?
No.
Aww.
He made his voice. Was it a will save?
Okay, once you've read this, you have 50 seconds to respond. Are you Lady Filius? Why did you come here? Why are you younger? What happened? Are you okay with coming back to Doldoran? Anything else? What else is on our hit list that's really important?
Nothing. I guess for the limited time, that's probably the most important thing at the moment. Let's stick with that and see how we go.
All right, we write those things out, and then we will cast comprehend languages on her, and then cast comprehend languages on me.
All right.
Do
Do,
we
And
need to
on
have
top
it
of
if
that,
she's responding
Give her a pen.
you want to write the questions out into the chat?
Oh, yeah, sure.
And if she's just responding
Oh,
with
that's
some
an error
yes
in
or
writing.
no,
This is not good. I should never write stuff. Deal with it.
I speak that language and I can't read it.
Yeah, but I write this so much faster like this, because it's faster. I mean, except for the bottom bit. See, that's when I started realizing that you guys wanted me to put it in here. And then it's like, oh, now I have to write stuff.
is the
Screw
sad
you!
so sad?
Yeah, exactly. How dare you make me put effort in?
Yeah, you're not GMing.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So you put that piece of written text in front of her and then cast the spells.
Yeah, well, I cast the spell on me sort of a good, 20 seconds after I cast it on her, pretty much.
Okay. So she will nod. She will say something first, and then she'll start reading. Yes and no.
Okay.
I came here because I am compelled.
Right. What's compelling you?
You can't. You have to type that. You have to write that out. But because
Oh, yeah, right. Yep.
I am younger
she can-
because this is what I normally look like. My bloodline has been cursed by an ancient being that resides in the Laughing Woods. No, I cannot return until I have gone to the woods, as I must do every couple of years.
Oh, okay. So she can understand what I'm saying, so I can just say...
No,
Right.
she's answering those questions that you wrote.
Oh, yeah, but if I...
Because it's read or write.
Okay. Fine.
So we could have had a conversation, but you insisted on making it overly complicated.
Oh, that's fine. Writing's still fast.
If she comes with us, we can do this all again tomorrow.
Well,
That is
that's
true.
fine. All I'm going to write down is, can we go with you?
Can we escort you?
Yeah, exactly. Can we escort you?
Type it in.
That's fine. You cannot enter the woods with me, but you can take me there.
Alright, let's do that. I thumbs up.
Sure.
Let's roll.
Yep.
Works for me.
Alright. Let us go back to this.
Should we have asked her where she was hiding when we searched the wagon initially?
Probably,
Yeah.
but it wasn't that important compared to everything else.
Yeah.
You say that now.
So you guys are about here.
Okay.
So
Yep.
you
We're gonna
still
travel
have
here. Oh no. That's a
still
mistake.
A
have
day's travel.
a bit over a day's travel.
Yeah.
Due to the fact that you're not walking across a road. She does seem to have, a little bit of an affinity with Rasputin. She smiles at him, and she'll pat him and give him a bit of a rub behind his ear, and smile as she does so. But Rasputin, unfortunately, bares his teeth a little bit when she speaks.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
not fair.
If you wish to start travelling today, you're more than able to, and you'll get most of the way to the Laughing Woods. She is
No reason to delay, honestly.
no, she is not much. She's not much for. She's not much company. She does talk to herself with this, and then she will start writing something down herself.
Oh no. Fair enough.
Alright. Jelly. She does not write #jelly.
That's when she was getting the pats. She was giving the pats to Rasputin.
Fair enough.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right. Let's do... doesn't matter, I won't type it out, I'll just tell you what she basically says. If you want to cast Comprehend Language the next day, do you want to do that on what she has written?
Yes, I will want to do that on what she has written, and I'll have a backup Comprehend Languages in case we want to write stuff to her.
Okay. The gist of what she will write is that the creature in the Laughing Woods is a fallen elf that predates the wrath of the gods.
Oh, it's one of these trapped entities. Ooh.
And her family has been cursed by this creature. She herself is over 100 years old, and she ages but must also always revert back to her younger years. But if she does not return to the Laughing Woods, then all of her bloodline, and there are numerous of them throughout the valley, will be rendered sterile, and her bloodline
Ouch.
will cease.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
she,
no fair.
So she goes in there and spends time with the entity.
Oh.
Cool. That's really gross. We should burn this wood to the ground. But
Not
no,
like-
no.
Not like that, Craig.
simple.
Sorry?
I said not like that, Craig, because if I said that when Craig was in the game, he would have gone, ooh, spending time. But she doesn't, provide any information as to what the time is spent doing. But,
So she's got to go back to the forest every what? 10
every
10
couple
years?
of years.
Every couple of years, and basically, she gets her youth back when she returns there.
No, it just returns every now and then.
She gets a little bit lonely. A little bit closer to her heart. No?
No.
Shoot, and
Turn around, guys.
Yeah.
she'll also have said in there that, she is overdue.
Huh.
Yep.
Oh, that's what you get. You know what those library fees are like.
Yeah. Facial.
So, that night, are you doing anything out of the ordinary? You have not been approached, attacked, etc. It is pretty quiet moving across here. You do see, there is some fauna that you will see across the area of the grass that you're travelling towards the Laughing Woods. You'll see little foxes or eagles in the sky or the like, and some small birds settling into the grass. But
And at no stage in our travel did we come across like some horses that were meandering around looking for humans to feed them.
no.
Oh man, those horses are dead. Oh well.
It's not looking good.
Sucks to be them. That's what you get for running away.
If you are
Dumbass.
going to do anything on about midway through the next day, you'll get to the eaves of the Laughing Woods, and she will hold up her hand to tell you not to enter, and then she will enter by herself. Are you or are you not entering the woods?
No, that's fine. We can follow basic instructions sometimes. Right?
Oh, I think we should go into the woods and kill this foul entity that's cursing the poor lady.
Yeah. But
Poor lady.
we don't know what these side effects sound.
I think this has been happening for 100 years. Someone else, much more competent than us, may have tried and failed.
More to the point, she didn't ask us to go and kill her, so
No.
maybe she's enjoying living forever with a minor side of,
something terrible.
something terrible every
Unspecifically
other
terrible.
year.
Or just really boring. The person's always like showing them their slide collection of that one time that they traveled to the Adriel forest. And it's like, yeah, and this is the big redwood. And this is the fir tree. I'm just saying.
It's Rimmer with his telegraph pole collection.
Right? And then I rolled 3 5s. Unbelievable.
Yes.
Yep. So she will enter the woods by herself.
Yep.
Alright, I guess we'll wait. Unless we hear a screaming, in which case, yeah, maybe we'll turn up and see what happens. What do you reckon?
Now I can only think of this entity as Evil Rimmer.
You mean
That's-
good Rimmer.
That's what it is to me now.
No, you mean good Rimmer.
Yeah. Good Rimmer is the tip of his little finger. Come on.
No, if it's the inversion of Rimmer, then it's good Rimmer.
Okay, so is she return by morning?
That's not the right gif.
This is the right gif. Maybe.
Yep. Alright, no, she does not return.
She does not return. Oh.
Shall we go in after her?
No, we'll just keep staking it out for a couple of days.
You
before
do
she
know
comes back.
that the Brotherhood of the Silver Dagger did try to, you remember back couple months ago when you first started venturing around the Valley of the Obelisks that when you went to the ruins of Androshell, the Brotherhood of the Silver Dagger had attempted to engage some spirit within the Laughing Woods and had failed.
Yeah.
Oh.
Hmm.
They had
Yeah, but
been-
we're
Yeah.
way tougher than they are.
they had been driven out.
Yeah. Hard pass.
Yep.
So what can we do that's useful around here then while we wait then?
We could start making a yoke for the wagon.
Play rock, paper, scissors.
Look for
I mean-
any wooding stones. I don't know.
Hunt
Things
for
that would
food.
things that would mark this fallen elf's territory, perhaps.
You notice that there are a number of small obelisks that dot the Laughing Woods. Some of them are no higher than your knee. The tallest one that you can see, and they seem to be all covered with undergrowth and vines, etc. The tallest one probably comes up to your shoulder, but there are quite a lot of them.
Should clean some of those off.
Hmm.
Do the designs of them look similar to the other obelisks around the valley?
They do.
You'll need to lick them to be sure, though.
Yep.
Salty.
Do they taste of bad ideas?
Does
Mainly burning.
is there any pattern to the layout of these obelisks that look like a perimeter or something?
It's possible. It's possible that the woods have grown out and around them. They do seem to be more than what you are normally used to seeing within the valley, and these ones are much smaller than the normal ones you see. Most of them stand at least, between 5 and 10 feet tall. These ones between 1 and 5 feet tall.
Are they that tall, or are they simply more underground?
Ah, clever question. You believe they're simply that tall, but you could dig around one and have a good look.
We've got time.
Sure.
Iceberg this motherfucker.
Alright, you dig around one, and, excuse me, whilst there does seem to be some of the obelisk that is buried beneath the surface, and indeed beneath the natural compost that occurs from the falling leaves and debris from the trees, it's only, half a foot to a foot at most that generally seems to be below the surface.
Mm. So what I'm hearing is we could pick them up and take them with us?
You could certainly have a go at the smaller ones, indeed, definitely.
Man, Mark wishes he could do that.
Look, well, you would know, perhaps.
Yeah. What does my second soul tell me?
It is unusually quiet.
Ah.
I guess we could another thing we could do while we're just sitting around here is try and figure out what the hell what's the name was trying to find. Have we seen any evidence of like a beast or anything along the lines of what what's his name was trying to find?
Fjard. So
Yeah, Fjard.
yes, as I mentioned, you do see animals around here. You saw some as you were traversing on your way to the Laughing Woods, and you saw foxes or cats, and you saw a few birds, etc. I mean, the information that Fjard gave you was, quite generic and brief. A beast that walks as a man during the day, but is, or a creature that walks as a man during the day, but a beast at night, and that was all he gave you. He didn't give you anything else to go on. So
No.
Oh, the answer is a nightclub goer.
there are small little native and nocturnal creatures that do hunt within the valley. You came across some wolves previously. There are, as I mentioned, foxes, but there's some largish cats as well. Could be any one of these kind of creatures. But maybe the creature that Fjard was looking at is 50 feet tall. He never gave you any further information.
Curiously vague.
Excellent. So there's not much to do. Apart from, as you say, try and fashion some kind of, I guess,
A yoke.
yoke.
Something to rest. To rig up to that wagon. I mean, the Vado.
Learn to juggle.
Alright, those of you who are paying attention, who are having a good look in the woods, and not trying to determine which one of the smaller obelisks would best be used for a codpiece, you will notice that there seems to be a sizable amount of burgeoning life within the Laughing Woods. Small little birds seem to flit just out of your vision, just momentarily. It's hard. It's hard to get. There's a lot of feedback coming through at the moment. It's hard to get a really good look at them. At first, you're not really paying too much attention, I guess. But then, as they start to, there's something not quite right about them. They seem to be a little bit off. And then you realise that, in the shadows within the woods, they don't seem to be birds at all. In fact, that's not it. I'm really bad at using this mouse the way I'm doing it. You think you see these creatures.
Oh, good.
They are possibly about 6 inches to a foot at most, and they flit and seem to hide amongst the trees and the leaves.
Oh, good. Faye.
As though, but it seems that they are keeping an eye on you. And every now and then you hear a slight, almost faint giggle, cackle.
Faye, good times.
I've heard of these. They're called holograms. They're led by a queen named Gem.
Or sometimes a king called the Rimmer.
Can
Tactically
Lenza
sound.
attempt to talk to them?
I mean,
I
have a comprehend language. It's free.
I actually speak Fae.
Oh, nice.
You speak Sylvan, but you also speak Fae?
Yes, I speak both.
So Fae is not the language of these creatures. Sylvan is.
Okay, well,
Fae is the counterpart to Dark Fae, and it is the language of the Wild Elves.
okay, cool. So Sylvan's more the...
Sylvan is the language of
Nature creatures.
the Sylphs and the She.
Yep.
And yes.
Well, I guess this only happens at night, I assume, or is it during the day too?
It's you can see them. It's just in the dark, in the shadows. It does seem to be a fairly foreboding wood. It's got a fairly dense canopy, and not much light seems to enter within.
Cool. I won't wander in too far. I'll only go over a couple of trees, and if even that, I still want to be able to see out and I don't want to be intruding in any way, but I do want to see whether I can, if they will communicate, or if they're just gonna watch us as we are them.
Okay. So you enter in, and as you enter in, it seems that there is a quietness around you. You do still see these creatures, but it's like the area around you has gone quiet, and you're in the old cone of silence.
So I actually can't speak.
No, you can. I was just, there's the Maxwell Smart thing, the cone of silence. that it never really worked. It just made them not be able to hear, but everyone else. But you
Oh,
still,
right. Yep, got it. Cool. So do the sprites respond if with me attempting to talk to them, or do they just?
it depends. What are you trying to say to them? Like, yo, bitches, or
No,
not
quite.
or I brought the prisoners.
There you go, Grail.
Excellent.
Yep. Have bonus
Lovely.
10 XP for finding that.
Nice.
Now I have to track it.
So what are you going to say?
I mean, I guess I'll just be trying to ask. I guess mainly, what do they want from us, if anything? Like, and also just kind of branching into like just hello, or like, basically start off with greeting, introducing myself, and then asking, what are you? What is this place? Just kind of general conversation starters, as in not anything too prying.
There will be this soft, almost gentle, but still slightly mocking laughter that will ring out, and then you hear a voice, but then it's not one voice; it's many voices kind of blended into one, high-pitched, fairly effervescent, almost barely perceptible, and it's like, you shouldn't be here, Lenza. No, you shouldn't be here. Why did you bring the others? And a dwarf.
Excellent. So I gathered from that is that they're not particularly happy about us being anywhere near their woods.
Not 100%, but they weren't hostile.
Lovely. Do I think I get any much more? Do they seem to be particularly talkative, or are they just more generally standoffish?
No,
is it worth of me trying to continue the conversation, or is it going to be more of the?
You can try and see how far you get.
Okay, I guess.
I'll be back in a minute.
Any ideas about what I should ask them, guys?
Who lives in here?
How are you going to wear our skins?
I think you should ask them who is their daddy and what do they do for a living.
I guess.
Why
Okay,
did you
so
get better
from
offer?
those very helpful suggestions, I might ask like, what is the power of this woods, or like what is the owner, or like I guess there's not quite owner, but more like
Caretaker.
What's a
yeah.
sufficiently naturey name?
Guardian.
Yeah, guardian. Well, that might be it.
Okay, so that's what you ask, is it?
Yeah.
Alright. There will be a lot of chattering laughter that seems to be not mocking this time, but more nervous and quite disturbed by what you're asking. And finally they will answer again, many voices blended into one.
Yep.
The Dark King resides in these woods. He rules it. He is the jailer. He is the keeper. He will find you if you come in.
Lovely.
Can we get a day pass?
I will
You can ask him.
reassure them that we have no intention of intruding on these woods. We are simply waiting for our companion to return.
Then there will be all this chattering amongst themselves. Even though you know the language, it's just like really imperceptible.
Because it's hard to tell.
Yeah, you can tell that they are not conversing to you, but amongst themselves. And then they will once again talk to you after a period. You have seen our king and queen. You must return them to us. Return them now.
I have seen their king and queen.
Minerva, we should probably just confess it.
Oh, the ones in the jar? This is bad. Ah!
What are we referring to?
Oh,
So when
those
we were at the
items.
witch-
The
yeah, so when we were at
two-
the witch, there was the two little,
Corpses in the jar.
little fairy things in a jar.
But
Nice.
that's one of the things we didn't take, did we?
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
Because we took the Spectre, the Scepter, which we lost anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Keratin.
Fuck.
I'll tend to explain that we never took it. It is still unfortunately still under the control of. Did the witch
D8.
call herself anything in particular, or is it just
I think they'll understand the witch.
Yeah.
Or
of,
the old
chance.
crone.
or the Asteric? How do you pronounce that? The
Esoteric.
Esoteric. Yeah.
You must return them. Return them. We need them. They must be returned. You have seen them. Their souls linger in your eyes.
Oh, that's creepy.
Well, you know. Well, if we don't run into them again, why the hell not? Seriously.
Yeah, but why would
So
they
no,
want us to return them to jail? Like, do they like being jailed in with this Dark King? Like, wouldn't it?
I don't know whether it's jailed per se, but
It's more complicated.
they don't dislike being here.
Well, he said that the Dark King was a jailer. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
know
I'd say
of them or like anyone else who wanders into it.
I would say that the fact that they're probably dead means that they would rather have them rest at peace than, be stuck in the hands of a evil witch lady.
Some sort of god fragment. Okay.
Suddenly, Lenza, this thing starts to rise up in front of you.
Okay,
Oh, lovely.
Did you mean for all of us to see that?
You can all see it because she only went ahead a couple feet into the.
Yeah, no, I didn't go very far whatsoever. I didn't want to imply that I was heading in or anything. Yeah, I'll back up quick.
Okay.
Are you backing up quick to retrieve it?
It does not pursue you, but it seems to be warding the woodland from your entrance.
Cool, no worries. I think the time for talking is over. I will not attempt this again.
Go on, you want to have a go.
It towered
Last-
above you. It stood about 9 feet tall.
Yeah, but is it hard enough?
Julian would never throw a monster at you that you couldn't defeat.
Well,
What
with the
kind
without
of
with the without
Julian
loss.
do you know?
Cool. So, how were we all successful in making a yoke for the wagon during the day?
You have started
Oh.
to make, yeah.
I wasn't making a yoke for the wagon.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just chillaxing.
Yokes on
I
you.
mean,
Other
meditating
people
on my spells.
I have a minion, so
Yeah, you have a minion, and you believe that the yoke is coming along reasonably well.
good.
You need some timber for it though, so can you just run in there and chop some timber for us?
I mean, there's trees all around. That's a forest. I'm just going to go to a thicket. I don't need to go to a forest.
Correct.
Yeah, particularly the one they're looking at. There seem to be.
I mean, I'd be better off anyway with a thicket. I don't want a branch that's too thick. No thicker than my arm.
So you want
Not your
to
thumb?
thin it.
Sorry?
You want to go to a thinnet.
Mm,
Yeah.
mm.
I mean, preferably I'll use a branch, not a trunk, so...
All right. So you've been doing that. Lenza has retreated. That creature that rose up in front of her will remain for a couple minutes before slowly dissipating within the woods. But you still see every now and then these small sprite creatures flying around. They seem to be keeping an eye on you, and you do hear the laughter ringing out.
Yep. I think we should. In Lenz's expert opinion, let's avoid the woods.
Thanks for that worldly advice. I never would have thought that myself.
Smart. I agree. Thanks for the warning. I pass it on to my minion. Don't go into the woods. You're in
Right.
for a big price.
Grail,
Rowan.
is that what they sound like?
Let's see. Yeah, that'll do.
Excellent.
That's pretty decent. But maybe a little bit more fey.
Well, that would have required an extra search.
But, it was still pretty good. Maybe take that and put a little sprinkle of sugar and cinnamon on top of it as well.
Oh, now it tastes delicious.
It tastes delicious, but it's bad for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we can call it there. You are at.
I consider this an absolute win-win.
You're at the edge of the laughing woods. You're not laughing, but the woods are laughing.
Excellent.
And you had an encounter with a goblin that didn't turn to violence. Crazy.
You guys are not the party I met.
This is not what you signed up for. It's definitely not what Theta signed up for, because he really wanted to go him.
He didn't even draw a weapon. He was just like
No,
standing.
he had his axe in his hand. He was clenching it tightly. He was.
Oh,
ready-
did he? Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was ready to
I
go.
thought he had the hilt in his hand, not
No.
that he was.
No, he was gripping the haft of his axe tightly. He was going to go.
Oh, okay. We let XP get away. What a pity.
But he's your hired mercenary, so he's a professional.
He'll do what we ask. We're the ones paying him, of course.
Yep. Anyway, that was good. And
I had fun thinking.
Oh,
What's wrong?
the thing in the chat
yeah,
in Discord.
You may have seen it before, just when
Yeah.
Aaron said we let some XP get away.
Yeah.
That.
anyway, that was good. Thanks for the game.
No, thank you. That was
Thank you.
developments were made.
All right, and we shall meet again in a fortnight, maybe.
Uh,
A fortnight is Christmas Eve, so maybe not.
Probably not, no.
No, actually,
No, it's a 20.
No,
you sure?
it's the 20th. What kind of weird calendar are you working on?
the Valley of the Obelisks calendar.
Yeah.
I'm just really, I'm really getting into the swing of it, and one of these method DMs.
Never go full Joaquin Phoenix.
Method or meth?
Why can't it be both?
Yeah, didn't you notice he was a bit odd? That was the meth. He puts the meth and the odd.
Anyway, thanks a lot, guys. We will catch you next time.
Next time, indeed.
No worries.
Awesome.
See you around.
See you then.
Bye.
Peace.